Hi guys, and welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate it so very much. Welcome, my name is Aiden. I'm so happy that you are here. Today I have my palette roundup for February. I know it's really late. I was out, I didn't film for quite a while because I was sick and I'm trying to get back into it. I'm pretty sure I had bronchitis. I had this terrible cough, just racking cough. No fever, no runny nose, nothing, no sore throat even. It was just like in my lungs. I could feel it in my lungs. I was tired, but I think that was one. I wasn't getting like quality sleep. I'd fall asleep for a couple hours and then wake up and then be up for a few hours. And so I think it was partly that, and then just not really eating for a week. Like some days, the only thing I was eating was I would drive to the drive-thru of Panera and get one of the value duets, which is like a cup of soup and a half sandwich, and that would be all I ate that day. I didn't even eat the bread because that was just too much to try to digest and to like pull apart the bread. Yeah, so I think that was part of the reason why I was just so tired and felt weak. I mean, I know that's why I felt weak, because I wasn't eating. Enough talking. Let's go over the palettes that I tried in the month of February. First up, we have the Sigma New Mod palette. It is so fun. The packaging, it's a velvety type 1. Then I have an oldie, Marc Jacobs. This is the Night Owl. I have the holiday palette, I think from this year, the Dior Golden Masquerade. It's so shiny, that's why it's at an angle. Then we have Colourpop Cherry Crush. I think this is my last Colourpop palette that I have not talked about. The YC collection, this came in my Ipsy. It's the Stila palette. Then we have another Marc Jacobs. This is the Tease. I have a couple duos. I have this Nars duo of Charade I and II. A Stila, really old. This is the Blushing Beauty Set 2. Then we have Natasha Denona mini palette. This is the mini bronze. The Kevyn Aucoin Nude Pop palette, a Give by Gwen Stefani. This is the Make Me Like You palette. It's one of her 6 pans, not one of the 4 pans. And then finally, Star Wars Pat McGrath. This is the Golden One palette. So I'm going to go over them all, kind of tell you my thoughts on them. If you have tried them, let me know. If you haven't already liked and subscribed, please do consider liking and subscribing, and leave me a comment down below. We're starting with last place. It is the Colourpop Cherry Crush palette, and there are some nice colors in here, but I felt like everything I did in here was so repetitive. I feel like I have other palettes that can give me the same thing without needing this palette. This is actually decluttered. So what did I say? I said very repetitive shades, hard to work with, too pigmented. It creases bad as well. So yeah, this one was one that, I mean, there was a lot going on with this one. Fallout, some, it was just too much. And maybe if you are a fantastic makeup artist and you can go in with a light hand. I tried to go in with a light hand and it was still like so much, and I was struggling with it, and I felt like it was just overwhelming for me. So it was great around the Super Bowl though, because I was rooting for the Chiefs, and you know, got lots of reds in here, but it's definitely one that needs to go. Yeah, unfortunately. We're going to put 11 and 10 together because they're both a couple duos. So in 11th place, second to last, is my Stila Blushing Beauty Set 2. And it's just 2 eyeshadows. I've used this one so much. This is before I got into YouTube and everything. It was one of those ones that I found at on clearance at Sephora, and I used the pink a lot. Not so much the darker shade. There's a dent in there. Don't know if you can tell, but there is that. So here they are over here. They are pretty washed out. It kind of reminds me of drugstore shades a lot, because they're not super pigmented. They're not super creamy. This is super old. Am I decluttering it? No, I'm going to try to actually pan. I feel like this is a good goal. I'm gonna finish that pink. We'll see. And then on this side, I have one of my Nars duos, and this is Charade I and II. And this one I picked up at Costco of all places, and it's just kind of a very boring type of palette. They're creamy satin type shades. There's a little bit to them. They're not fully matte, but yeah, I used them in conjunction together, and I feel like they complemented each other well. This kind of purpley brown is not my favorite shade, but the other three I think are grand. I just realized I didn't tell you my notes on the Nars and the Stila. I said Nars, pretty colors, good crease shade. Stila, I said good colors. They're not really shimmers. They're kind of like a matte type of thing. In ninth place, we have one of my Marc Jacobs 7-pan palettes. This is the Night Owl. It's kind of a crazy color story, and that's a lot of the reason why that was in where it is. Okay, so the Night Owl, I said meh, bit hard to blend the mattes, which is a disappointment. So there's that. We'll let this sit for a minute. Shimmers better, but not special. So nothing that really stood out too much. We'll do a close-up. You can't really see. There is a matte white right down here. Let's see if I can get close. Well, it doesn't distort. Like, the shimmers are kind of nice, but I like the gold. The blue is nice. This first shimmer is nice, but it's not something like super exciting. Not something that I feel like you missed out on not getting at all. One step above that, one Marc Jacobs is another Marc Jacobs. This is the, what is this called? This is called the Tease. And this is all kind of purple colors. It's not as intimidating as other purple palettes though. So I said nice shades. The mattes works, but the shimmers are a bit blah, which yeah, you can kind of see that in the look. The shimmers are not as standoutish as in the last one. There's some nice light shades in here, like these shades in the middle. I would use quite a bit in looks. Like, I feel like this is kind of a nice one. You could wear it to work without it being too in your face, but I feel like it's more of a evening or weekend palette for myself. Okay, next up we have one of my Give by Gwen Stefani palettes. This is Make Me Like You. This is the redone ones. She had the quads originally, and then she came out with 6 pans. So you have 2 large shades and 4 small shades, and here we go. So nice. I picked this one up at TJ Maxx for like $9.99. So worth it. Really, I really love the Gwen line, and I mean, I do say that as a massive Gwen fan. So what did I say? I said shimmers are not great, but the mattes are soft and buildable. That was my favorite part. The shimmers, they could be a little bit smoother, I guess, go on a little bit better, look a little bit more smooth. They feel a little crackly. I can't remember if there's fallout or not on this one, but it is really pretty, and I'm very happy to have it. I like the shades that they've done, and you can kind of do a trio either this way and this way, which is what I did for this, but also I'm looking, I'm like, oh, these would be nice trios too, if you're going up and down as well. So it's a good one. I hope that she brings her brand back and resurrects it. Moving into the top half, we have the YC collection, the Selah eye palette. This came in my Ipsy bag a month or two ago. I don't remember. Not too long ago. It has some nice colors in it. Here we go. We have all of the shades that, come on, don't change color. Really pretty, nice, soft, buildable palette shades. There we go. So I said the mattes are very soft. They work all right. The shimmers are nice, and I like it overall. I think there's only 2 shimmers right there in the middle, so we have them right here's the one, and then we have the shimmer down here. They're nice shimmers. They're not the most exciting shimmers, and I feel like if you're doing looks, you're probably going to get sick of those 2 shimmers after a while, but I did enjoy this palette, and I feel like it's a decent one, a little bit more versatile than the other ones, and just an overall, I would be interested in trying more from YC collection. All right, next up we have one of my Dior palettes. This is Oh, it's so shiny. This is the Golden Masquerade palette. This was one of the holiday palettes. So what did I say about this? I said it needs outside shades. Can be a little much. It's pretty, and by a little much, I mean it's a lot of shimmer shades. There's only one matte. That darkest shade is a matte. Everything else is kind of a shimmer. So when you get them all on your eyes, you're like, oh, that's a very shiny eye look. I like to ground it usually in some sort of a matte. Like today, I have the one in my crease. But when you have shimmer, even a very light shimmer, and then you have shimmer and shimmer, it was quite a bit. I do like them. They're very light, as you can tell. These are definitely designer shades where they're meant to be more washes of color. It's pretty and I like it, and I'm glad that I have it. It does come with the little brushes, which I never use, but I always keep to put back on top. I don't know why, but yeah, it's a nice one. It's not one that I would recommend purchasing though. I feel like there are better eyeshadow palettes out there, but I just couldn't help it because it was just so cute and I love the colors. Next up is one that I'm a little shocked about. It didn't make it into the top 3, but it is Natasha Denona. It's close. It's number 4. So this is the mini bronze palette. I should tell you that. The mattes blend well, not a lot of variety, and the shimmer was meh. It wasn't my favorite shimmer. As you can see, like, yeah, you have the dark, you have 2 mediums that are pretty similar when you put them out there on your eyes, and it was okay. Not my favorite of her mini palettes, but not a terrible palette. If you like these colors, you know, her quality is usually really good. And but are they my favorite colors? No, they're not my favorite colors, which is why it didn't make it into my top 3. One of the ones in my top 3 is surprising. My number 3, I was not expecting it to be this high. All right, here we go. Here are the swatches. Can you guess which one it is from that? It is my Kevyn Aucoin Nude Pop palette. Yeah, I'm shocked too. I was not expecting it to be that high. Purples, pinks, some neutrals in there as well. Just overall a nice palette. I said interesting mix of colors and finishes, can be a bit too cool at times. The shimmers are nice. The mattes blend pretty well. This one, I don't love the purple, the dark purple. It felt a little bit gritty to me, but overall I really like, especially like this side over here. I really like the shimmers. This shimmer, I love this shimmer and this shimmer. These two I'm not as crazy about, like, well, and this one too, but it's a good mix of shades and finishes. You can see it's a little bit chunky of glitter, like not chunky like Fallout, but chunky like it has a presence to it. It's a thick shimmer, if that makes sense. Like I feel like some are nice light washes and some are not. The gold and the pink are not light washes of shimmer, but there we go. It's a good one. If you have it, pull it out, use it. I think you'll like it. Okay, second place is my largest palette. This is the Sigma New Mod palette. I had my eye on this one for quite a while when it came out, and then I finally found it. It was on sale at Macy's, so I pounced on it and I picked it up. Love the color story. Look at that color story. So pretty. What did I say about this one? Oh, okay. So I said very beautiful. The shimmers are gorgeous. The mattes work easily. Would like a little bit more variety in shades. Like there's some that feel like a little bit repetitive, but you have some beautiful shades in there. Look at, but you can see like there's some overlap in shades that are kind of close together. Maybe not quite exact dupes, but like this one here and this one here are look pretty. No, this one and this one, there you go. They look kind of similar, and it's a beautiful palette. I really like it. I don't have a lot from Sigma, but the few that I do, I've been pretty impressed with. Sometimes the shimmers can be too much, but I feel like this one they did a really good job on, and if you can find this one on sale, I think it's great. I love this shimmer right here. That's this one right here. It's so beautiful. That one's so beautiful. I actually really like that one too. Just lots of beautiful shades in this one. Yeah, happy to have it. Are we ready for the first place palette? It's one of the Star Wars palettes from Pat McGrath. Yeah. I got this because it was on clearance and it popped back up at Sephora. I was super excited about that. I love the formula of Pat McGrath, and so anytime I can get one for a good deal, I am excited to get that. This is called the Golden One, and it is has C-3PO, right? Yeah. I'm not a Star Wars fan. I watched the first episode, like episode 1, because my friend was really excited I hadn't watched them and I could watch them all in order. And yeah, not a fan. Not a sci-fi fan for the most part, unless it's like British Doctor Who. Like, so, but I'm a fan of Pat McGrath. Look at those colors in there. Here we go. Them all swatched. You have 3 shimmers in here. This one, like, and then the 2 mattes. I love the 2 mattes. That's my favorite part of this palette. So soft mattes, good shimmers. It's a pretty good mix. You can get kind of a mix of things. You got a couple light mattes. I mean, a light shimmer, which really helps. I feel like the 3 shimmers have good variety. The 2 mattes have good variety as well. So was happy with this one. And if you find it, if it pops back up for some random reason at Sephora, I would get it. Or if you see it at TJ Maxx, I would pick it up as well. All right, that is it. That is all 12 of the palettes or duos that I tried in the month of February. I know, late because I was sick and just didn't get videos out as much as I wanted to because of it. Anyway, let me know if you have any of these palettes. Let me know your thoughts on the palettes. And let me know how you're doing as well. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I can't wait to talk to you next time.